Hello and welcome to my channel, and we have hello from our special guest Pumpkin, who likes to visit when I'm doing something. So there's that. Today's topic is all about how to prepare for the end of the school year / summer. I haven't decided which title I'm going with yet, but does it really matter? Happy May. It's time to get ready for summer. I'm so excited, and I'm sure you are too. So I wanted to run down my checklist of things that I do at the end of the school year in case you need some ideas or just to help you not miss anything important. So first thing you might want to do is start with a brain dump. A brain dump is just a long, messy list of everything that's on your mind, all the things that you have to do. There's a lot of special tasks that happen at the end of the year that don't need to happen at any other time. So having that list of things from the beginning is super helpful just to make sure you don't miss anything. So I like to keep my list out on my desk so I can add to it as I think of things. And I will do one of two things. Sometimes, like if it's really early on, I will highlight any of my priorities. And then another thing I'll do when I have more time is take that list and break it down into categories. That's actually what I did in planning for the video. I did a brain dump and then I categorized and rearranged everything. So first we have the obvious items, but that are special for the time of year where you might forget about it because it's not like part of the regular routine. So obviously we need to submit grades. In my school, this is when we submit our supply orders. So we actually put our order in January. Our principal has to go through them and approve them, and then, you know, we might fix something if the principal says between now and then, but in June we have to go in and click a button to submit it. And if you don't submit it, you're not gonna get it, so it's pretty important to not forget. Another thing we do at my school at this time is submit work orders. Any kind of work that we want done in our classroom, whether it's painting something, fixing something, replacing light bulbs, we have a system where we submit these requests and we just have to make sure we do it before we leave if we want it done before we come back. So another example is last year I ordered new whiteboards for my classroom. Before I left in June, I had to make sure that my work order was submitted so that when they came in, the custodians could hang them right away. Now that's not what actually ended up happening, but that's neither here nor there. The point is my part was done. Our next category is organization. This is a great time to just pick up your classroom. If there's things that have been left out that just didn't get put away properly, now's the time to make sure that they get put away. I feel like that's a really obvious one, but the organization that you might want to go through in particular that you don't get to on a regular basis would be like if you have a filing cabinet, just filing papers away, making sure that they have appropriate labels, and also just kind of combing through and chucking anything you don't need. And that goes in general with everything, your supplies, get rid of anything that you don't need. If you have students that are bored and need something to do, give them your pens, markers, whatever student supplies you have, and have them test them out so they can get rid of the ones that no longer work. Whenever I organize anything, I like to start by purging anything I don't want to keep. That means that when I go to organize, I actually have less stuff I need to organize, and it makes the actual organization part a lot easier. In addition to my filing cabinet, I keep a filing crate to store all of my geometry activities. So last year I had to add new folders because I did new activities. So I just made sure that they had the labels and everything was set up how I wanted it. This year I did nothing new, so I don't have to worry about that. But if I did, it would be on my list. Another thing to organize would be your digital files. If you have files that are loose, not in a folder, you want to make sure you get them to the proper folder. If anything changed or was new this year, you might need to make a new folder. However you do it, you can go ahead and organize those things. And this I save for absolute last, because the reality is if I did not get everything else done, I could do this at home if I needed to. I don't plan on it, but if I did, I could. The other thing that I like to do is actually set up my folders for the next school year. So once I know what I'm teaching, I have a folder for that subject, and I like to add folders for all of the individual units. So that's something that I would like to do in June before leaving for the summer. Now, if you need any help with digital organization, make sure you check out the videos that are linked below. Now, while we're on the topic of organization, if you are organizing your supplies, now's a good time to take a sort of inventory. And I don't mean get like really crazy and know how many glue bottles or glue sticks you have. I mean, just know whether or not you have enough and whether or not you need to replenish on your own. So if I notice that I'm really running low on something, I'll make a note of it that I need to purchase an item over the summer. I'd rather do that now than come back and then scramble and fight with people in the back to school aisles to find what I need. Our final category is to summarize your classroom. And I mean summarize with an E, not an A. Get it all ready for summer. Make sure that things are cleaned up. Now's a great time to clean. I love cleaning. And then I end up cleaning again when I come back just because dust accumulates, but it's just nice to clean now too. Make sure you take home your plants, any food that you have. You don't want critters to get into it if that's a problem in your school, but also you don't want to come back to yucky stuff anywhere. You know, clean out the mini fridge, whatever it is that you might have. If you have a microwave or coffee maker, make sure you clean those too, or bring them home if that's what you do. Then I take care of anything that could be moved. During the summer, my school will wax every classroom individually, and they will completely empty out anything that's not fixed to the floor in order to do that. So I have two main pieces of furniture. I have my desk and I have a cabinet that holds supplies, and that one locks. So I'll make sure that that cabinet has things secured, that things are not going to break if that cabinet's moved around or fall, or you know, just be a crazy mess when I come back. I just kind of make sure the compartments are full. Sorry about my cat making all the extra noise in the background. So I take care of that. And then for my desk, I will actually completely empty it out. And we have built-in shelving in my classroom. Like, I'm just very blessed with the storage that I have. And I will take everything out of my desk and put it into the shelves that I have in my classroom. Now, for all of these things that are being removed from my classroom, I make sure that they all have a sign attached to them that has my last name and my room number. This is critical just to make sure that things don't get lost or put back in the wrong classroom. So I will make sure that a sign is taped onto my desk chair, my cabinet that I mentioned, my filing cabinet. I have a table in my classroom that I would like to hold on to. I have a standing desk, and I have a cube organizer. So all of those things will have that sign attached to them just to make sure nothing gets lost. I didn't mention this, but I'm hoping it's obvious that anything on the cube organizer I will be putting away. The main thing on there is the bins for my students' notebooks. I actually will repurpose those bins to hold the items from my desk that get put away. The other things on there are like the paper trays. They go into my cabinet. My calculators get stored into my locking cabinet, and so does my pencil sharpener. The last thing to do is just make sure anything that needs to be fixed or replaced that you know about now. If it's something that you need help fixing, make sure you put in that work order if that's your school's process. If you can fix it yourself, you might as well do that now and not wait until you come back in the fall. And then the same goes for anything that needs to be replaced. So I mentioned before taking inventory of your supplies to see if you need to buy anything. What I would do in the past was have that list and then buy things up at the store over the summer, and I would end up with bags of stuff that I'd have to bring to my classroom. Granted, I'm not buying as much for my classroom at this point because I've accumulated stuff over the years, but I do still end up buying things, and rather than have it sitting around in my house reminding me over the summer that school will be coming, I would rather get those things now and just bring them to my classroom so I don't have to worry about them. I did that last year and it was amazing, honestly. I bought new erasers for my whiteboards because I did not like what was available on our school supply company's website. So I bought my own erasers. I bought new caddies for my interactive notebooks from the Dollar Tree. I actually need to replace some of them now because, you know, they're cheap and they're not the best, but for what they do, and they do hold up for the year, I'm happy with them. I could continue using them next year if I wanted. I just would like to replace them with new ones. So anything like that, I will go out to the store and actually buy them now so that they can stay in my classroom and I don't have to hold on to them and see them and be constantly reminded that I have to go back to school. So that's everything for this video. If you have a question or something that you would add to this list that I did not mention, please leave a comment below. And if your school does anything special or different to prepare for the summer that I did not mention, I would love to hear about it. Leave a comment about that too. Happy summer, and if you're not on summer break, we're so close. Hang in there. And as always, Thanks for watching.